Hello everybody and welcome to episode 26 of my Lizardman Let's Play. Now we are currently completing our fourth ritual. We'll be going on to our final ritual pretty much straight afterwards. We currently have a load of Chaos and Skaven armies rampaging down this way into my territory, so I'm kind of forming a curve, ready, a net ready for them. This little place here is, let's be honest, it's dead. It's not really got anything there it can use to defend itself, so it's not going to be lasting for particularly long. Well, it's got a reasonable garrison, so we might be able to cause a bit of damage to these guys before they come in. And we're all good and nice and secure over in Lustria here. We do have some Chaos armies here, but they are fortunately nothing to do with me in this case. They are all to do with... Oops, sorry about the sound there. They are all to do with the this ritual going on here, so they should ignore me. Got a nice chunk of money at the moment, so... and then Dark Elves are on that ritual. I want to save some money for the High Elves ritual, and just to keep pushing stuff out, of course. So I've been getting lots of good buffs recently. Alright, let's... level this place up to the top level and let's have a look through. I want to keep pushing my economy. Always pushing my economy as much as I can. And let's push down to the last vampire settlement. Killed it, secured the region, and we have destroyed the faction, which is good. That means we can start finally properly clearing up all of this horrible vampiric corruption which has been going on. Where is the one I want here? I'm going to keep this army up here simply because if the High Elves drop in, and I don't trust these Orcs here either particularly much. They yeah, you know, they may well go to war with me. They are not the most trustworthy of groups. Though I say that I might end up pulling it down when I'm doing the final ritual, because I imagine I'm going to have quite a lot of stuff thrown at me during that final ritual. Right, so that's all good. They're all sorted. I think I've already moved these armies down here. Oh no, not this turn. Right, we're doing a little bit of rejigging with some of these armies. I want to get a revivification crystal into a Kroq-Gar's army. Right, so here's Kroq-Gar up here. It's working out what I want to swap for that revivification crystal, because I've got quite a nice solid setup here. What I'd ideally like is 2 revivification crystals in here, but for now I think I'm going to have to stick with 1. I'm going to... That'll reduce my amount of ranged quite a bit of cavalry by 1 more. If I get rid of him, I've got my little bit of range, and these guys have got 2 Kroq-Gars. Got a nice line. I don't want to lose too much more. I am going to swap out my cold ones for now, because I think that revivification crystal is going to be very beneficial in Kroq-Gar's army, because it's going to mean that these guys can all hold that much longer. I would love to get 2 in there, but I might have to have a good think about the layout. I mean, I could always drop Tommen out, but he does so much damage, he's worth having in there. Right, I'm just going to pull all these guys for now. Pull one of these guys up here a little bit as well, and these guys can change stance to be recruiting. We do also have those solar engines, which are nice as well, because they are effectively artillery. So we've got a solar engine, we want a revivification crystal, we want some temple guard, a couple more of these guys, and then we will probably pop a Carnosaur into here as well. Or I could get the ancient Stegodon. However, the feral Carnosaur is probably a bit better. But for this guy, he has more range, but he does less damage. He's also armor piercing. He can also be used because he has the same stats. He's got slightly less leadership, but he has the same melee stats as this guy, which means that he's effectively a better version. So I'm going to do that for the time being. As I said, long run, I might look at reorganising. Might get a. Oh, I've already got a revivification crystal in here, so I don't necessarily need that second one. I'm going to do it. I'm going to try that setup because it is meant to be very good. And obviously, I've got no heroes in this army, however. Right, anyway, with that, let's keep my guys moving, because these are why I'm doing so well items at the moment. Oh, I completely missed the fact there was something there. I got another 10k. So we'll head towards that one. I've got my other guy over here as well. He's heading here, then he's going to be pushing up and around. Another 5k into my treasury. So just getting everything buffed up nicely here. And let's see where these Chaos guys go. Now obviously I've got quite a high income per turn here, but that's because I've got my guys running around at sea and they are getting various buffs for my armies. So the one thing I do want to be careful of is when I run out of that, I'm going to take a massive hit to my economy, which is why I'm pushing my economy up constantly and taking all these buildings which also buff my economy. I want to try and stay at peace with the elves below me, though they are going to get very angsty soon, so that could get tricky. Well, it looks like Mazamundi's having to do a high elf invasion here as well, which is such an odd place for high elves to be. Though I think they are probably the most powerful faction other than myself at the moment. So they are, if they're messing around up there, I'm happy. You know, that means I'm not having to worry about them, I'm not having to pay attention to them. I'm still half tempted to throw a quick invasion force up into Ulfwan just to take a couple of cities off them. But I think that would be a little too cheeky and might get me killed. And one day one of these guys might actually join me, but it's not going to be anytime soon, I don't think. So they finally dealt with the vampire faction which were here, which took them a long time to deal with. So right now my borders are actually relatively stable and safe. I probably want to finish off that orc, go to war with this little orc clan here. As I mentioned, I want to try and get the dwarfs sorted out, and that'll secure me a bit more of that territory that I can push in and help clear them, to clear that region up for some the little dwarf faction there, which I want to stay allied with if I can. And obviously there's this orc faction up here who I want to pay attention to, who while I'm not at war with, they're not friends with me. So right, these guys are moving. Let's see where they go. Right, that's hardly surprising. The Elven Ruins are being attacked. Right, this is going to be let's be honest, it's going to be a massacre. I'm going to fight it just to see what I can do, just to try and hold them off at least for a little bit, try and do as much damage, though they are Skaven, so they are probably going to just come straight back. That's a lot of warp fire throwers. This is going to be a painful battle, because they are just going to swarm my walls with troops. So this is where I love, like, I'm going to be honest, in a situation this is where I like the high elves, because you can actually just fall back from the walls with your archers. Wait for them to get close, fall back from the walls, and your archers will just shred the enemy as they come up over the walls, especially with a smaller wall like this. And I even pull back my spears from the walls so that they just deal with anybody who actually gets over and pins it while my archers deal with it. We've got quite a nice fort here. We've got a lot of Saurus spears, which aren't the best ones. I'd prefer swords because they obviously do better. We've got a couple of skinks. I'm not so fussed about. A few, skink cohorts, which I'm not so fussed about. Obviously, I've got my old blood in here as well, and I've got some pterodons. So we'll see how this goes. As I said, I don't think I'm going to win, but I at least want to try and make these guys pay as much as I can for taking this place. This will also probably give me a little bit of a hit to my economy as well, which is annoying. So I might have to come back up here and recapture it afterwards, but we'll see. It's almost annoying because if I had a big army in here as well, I could probably do a lot more damage here. So we're going to have a second force coming over here, but their main force is going to be here. So I'm going to aim to hold here to start with at least. Let's pop a unit of skinks on top of each of these. Right, we'll put some Sauruses behind each of the gates, backed up with a skink cohort. Right, these guys can kind of go in the middle as a roving patrol. And he can also come up here to start with. He'll probably get dropped down later on. Okay, let's go. So obviously these guys have a lot of artillery here as well. They've got artillery here as well, which I need to pay attention to. So we're already shooting with our various bits and pieces. Their second army is coming in over here. Let's have a look at this terrain. So this is an elven terrain, an elven city we're living in at the moment. You see, it's such a gorgeous city with pretty rainbows. So we're defending this city which we've taken over from a massive horde of Skaven. As soon as I can, I want to get in behind and take out these with these guys. Right, let's move him over. Let's get these guys back because they are not going to hold that bit of wall. You guys can start moving over here. Okay, we've got night runners right in front. They might charge up the wall, but I doubt it. We've got some guys coming up here into here. And they're not really hitting my gates at the moment, so I might actually pull my other guys up. Right, let's get these guys back and get these guys up. I'm going to do the same here, get these guys up into the gap. Oh, actually they can come up this side where these guys are coming in. Ah, my pterodons got routed. They actually had stuff hidden in these woods I didn't see. Pop a debuff down on him, make him less accurate. Let's throw a nice heal out. So we are holding for the moment. My gate has gone. I didn't realise that was going. Let's get my cold ones over here to back up. Some clan rat spears, which aren't really something I should be taking on with these guys. It's still not hitting this gate, so I'm going to get these skinks moving over here to back up. And they've got a lord in here. I need to get my lord over here fast. That unit is not going to last. In fact, I need to pull these guys back down as well. Which means I'm probably going to get a whole break in that bit of wall. However, we are holding nicely elsewhere. Let's get this guy here as well to give myself some extra cover. And put this guy here. We are breaking that Skaven Lord. Now what I really want to do is trap him and kill him. These guys are charging in. I've got these guys in here and these guys are holding nicely. Let's turn them so they're looking at the wall actually. So they can start shooting at these. Ah, these guys are out of ammo so they can get into melee. They are starting to push onto these walls again. We're still doing nice, we're still holding them. Right, let's get my lord in here. Let's pop down another debuff on these guys. These guys are starting to get overwhelmed. I can't pull these guys out yet because they're still dealing with this unit of storm vermin, though they are winning, but it's taking a while. They can push up onto the wall there. Let's try and clear these guys off. Right, we are clear here. We've got some plague bearers coming in there. Let's get you down as well. So we've got all the Skaven trying to push in through this gap, trying to get in, but those are sensor bearers. They are... Oh, they're coming up the wall, so you guys actually need to stay. This is where we're taking the most damage at the moment. We are still holding. And this is really annoying. I've got Skaven retreating into my city. One of the enemy lords is broken. I really want to try and... Right, I need to get someone else up there. You guys can charge up there. The lord can hold here for the time being. I need to get my lord up there as well. These guys are starting to break. My lord can get up onto those clan rats. We are holding. Some of my guys are now berserking, which isn't going to be good in a siege. We are still fighting here, and they are coming and charging guys. Some rat ogres at this gate now, and I have nothing to defend that gap. So they are going to break through. However, this was always going to be a loss, guys. I'm not worried about losing this. The whole point of this battle is to do as much damage to the Skaven as possible. through. Right, my cold ones are going and dealing with them. These guys are still fighting here. Good God, these units they have sent up. This is the issue. The units are so big. That even if I stand, even if I kill them, it just takes so much time to deal with them. Right, so they are pushing into there. I need to get them out. These guys are all still holding here. They are starting to sneak through the gaps in my lines now because I'm completely engaged and they just have the numbers to do this. I need to get him back to deal with this lord as well. Compule the Warpsmith. Right, you can engage as well. And my other units are beginning to all enrage. Those skinks are probably not going to hold long. These guys are not doing well against this lord. They are very tired from all that Skaven killing they've been doing. Some of these guys, how many people have they killed? And we are beginning to lose up here. Yeah, they are all still fighting. As I said, they're not breaking, but they're also not under my control anymore, which really isn't ideal. We've broken their other lord. Let's charge these guys. Let's keep the pressure on. I said, while I'm not winning this, I have done a lot of damage to them here. They have paid heavily for this city here. They are, however, now really pushing through the gaps. My lord is all on his own here, fighting against these clan rat spears, but he can do this. They have broken these guys. I don't want these guys in the clan rats, so they can charge down here. There are some more spears behind, so they are probably not going to stay long. One of my units is still up here fighting against Storm Vermin Sword and Shield. They have been fighting there valiantly this entire battle. And I think we're about to hit our mass rank route, unfortunately. However, guys, I'm not upset by that battle. While it was a loss which was worth it. The benefit I gained from that loss was worth it, because I lost 800. Okay, they only lost 1,200, but they've got a lot of very high level units there, and a lot of these units, you see even their warp fire throws never really got to use their warp fire, and I've really taken that. Now, this is a Skaven army, so it will regen quickly, so that isn't necessarily, so it's gonna keep coming at me, and it will probably be up in a lot, almost up to full strength when it gets there. I don't know what I did to the other army, though hopefully I've at least killed off some units, and hopefully they don't get as, they push forwards fast, so they don't get all the regen by the time they get to me. What I'm hoping for is them to mess up so I can bring multiple armies to bear and have some nice easy auto resolves, because fighting chaos is interesting, though I'm going to be honest, I do really want to get that revivification crystal out, because I've got a feeling that's going to be fun. The other thing I'm forgetting about Kroq-Gar's army is he already has multiple Carnosaurs, because Both my lords are on. All my lords are on dinosaurs. I've got 2 Carnosaurs and 1 ancient Stegodon there as well. So I probably can pop something out for another revivification crystal. My Carnosaur or my Stegodon, certainly, and put that into another army. So I might do that afterwards to get myself 2 revivification crystals. Then just use my lords in the same way I'd use them as my sort of cavalry wing. Because they are all very tanky now. They're just heading down towards the Skaven down here, so I don't need to be worrying about these guys. They are raiding in the land I no longer hold, and they have raised my settlement, and they're still not pushing. Right now I'm just kind of positioning my armies so that I can, so I'm ready no matter what happens here. We've already got some Kroq-Gars in here. I'm going to start for a couple of Temple Guard for the armor piercing, though. If that's attacked, I'm relying on the settlement to hold it. I'm going for a lot of these because these do still buff up your income as well, so they are all good. Nope, walls, walls, walls. You saw there, I mean that was 2 armies hit me, and even with, oh actually, even with a small force defending, I did a lot of damage to them. That's another nice buff. Right, I don't think I've got anything else in range down here at the moment, unfortunately. But there are a few over here. We have a few more levels up, so if somebody else has got a cold one. And let's have a look. So that's my turn again. Okay, so hopefully the Chaos are going to push, because at the moment they're just kind of pussyfooting around up there, not really being aggressive. Unfortunately the Dwarfs are probably going to pick up that Elven Port now, which is a little annoying because it was a good settlement, though I can't really afford to go aggressive. Okay, so Lothern is attacking the Fallen Gates, and they won the battle, so they are possibly going to even settle down there, which again is something I don't necessarily want them to be doing, because you know, I want to be able to hold. Well, I want these guys to be holding them off and keeping them as occupied as possible. Naggarond is doing its thing. I don't think they're in any. As I said, I think all the Dark Elf factions are fairly factioned up still at the moment. So I don't think there's a huge amount I need to be worrying about with them at the moment. Let's just look. So yeah, the Lawmasters now hold the other Volzandil, and Itza are still consolidating around here. So things are going reasonably, and the blue guys are doing whatever the blue guys are doing, because I've given up trying to work out what they do. They seem to mess around, take forever to kill off that vampire faction, even though they are so much more powerful. And the Knights of Origo are pursuing their little war up there and actually running away. And let's see, I do not trust the top knots. Okay, so let's see what happens. Oh, this is the Skaven clan. So my ones seem to have not moved. That can't be right. So they want me to sack that settlement. That's not going to be happening. So I can't actually see where these guys are anymore. So I want to be a little bit careful. Because they are very powerful. You know, one of those armies dropping on me will still do a lot of damage. No matter where I put it, so... What does the top level here give me? That gives me a revivification crystal. And if that, you can also start recruiting a revivification crystal. So here's good, here's good. I think it's time to go to war with these guys. So I'm gonna... Yeah. I'm not going to go to war with them this turn, but I'm going to start marching down, so it's quite obvious what I'm going to do. And I'm going to push, going to at least take this place, and I'm probably going to push in and try and clear out a bit of the mountains. So I'll probably just sack these settlements so the dwarfs can come in, so I want to stay friends with them.
Honor to your ancestors.
And potentially get a trade agreement with them. Any of you guys... No. No. I said at one point they would confederate with me, but now they won't. Oh! I'm not sure I want to confederate with him, though.
Yes.
Because he's a bit too far off for me. Because he's not really in my territory, so while getting him, while getting hold of Mazamundi would be very nice, depending on how they've levelled him, of course. I'm not necessarily sure I want this territory because they're not doing particularly well. But it might give a nice boost to my economy, so I'll have to think about that. Anyway, guys, I'm all set up here, waiting for these Chaos armies to come in. Got to hold 6 more turns, and then we're going to be moving straight on to the last ritual. I'm getting my other army back here built up, so these guys should be ready very soon, and then they're going to start being brought up as well. For now, I'm going to end this one here. Hopefully, we're going to get a nice big battle. Within the next few turns. We will have to see exactly what goes on with these Chaos armies and where they go. I am fairly sure we'll be getting at least one good battle off them. Thank you very much for watching, guys.